Today's adventure brings us to Pine Mountain in Gorham, New Hampshire. We'll be taking the Pine Mountain Road, going up to the summit where the Horton Center is. As you can see by the sign, hikers are welcome, but camp vehicles only. So we will be taking the 1.6 to the summit for number 91 on the New Hampshire Fire Tower list of the 92 obtainable towers that are standing, once stood, or were proposed. Okay, so the road that we're following, it's 1.6 miles long to the summit of Pine. It started on Pinkham B Road, and it was first made accessible to vehicles in 1964 by the U.S. Forest Service so that they had access to the fire tower on the summit. So that is really hard to see even with the naked eye. But it says Pine Mountain Trail. Pine Mountain goes off to the left 1 mile, and Pinkham B Road is 0.6 down. The other side's a little bit easier to read. The Ledge Trail, Pine Mountain, 0.6. That is the way we will be going. Heading up this way. As you can see, the Ledge Trail is a little bit different than Pine Mountain Road was. We will take Pine Mountain Road all the way back down once we reach the summit. Come to an outlook. Views are pretty good. I believe that's the Carter Range over there. There is ice and snow up here. And coming through Franconia Notch this morning, we could tell that sometime in the past week, they got some plowable snow. It was also 10 degrees colder. That notch phenomenon. As soon as we got over into Twin Mountain, temperature went up 10 degrees. Wow, this trail gets pretty steep, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm panning, hold on. Hold on. Ah, the trail goes this way. All kidding aside though, it does get kind of steep. Of course the viewfinder's not showing it, but it never does. You alright? Yep. Alright, coming up. That's what's behind us. And as I pan and zoom back out, you can see what's going to be in front of us. Yeah, that's a cliff. Oh, bending back. Alright, there we go. View should be really good from up there. What you're looking at is Glacial Striation, if I'm saying it properly. What it is it's proof that glaciers did exist. It had rocks embedded in it, and as the glacier moved across this surface, the rocks that were embedded in it cut grooves. That's pretty cool. So in 1948, the Horton family erected a marble bench up here for Carol Horton, who died of cancer. The bench didn't survive here on the ledges. There's 3 theories as to what happened to it. Number 1, adverse weather conditions blew it off the side. Vandalism, or lightning struck it and blew it into pieces. So what the Horton family ended up doing was they carved out another bench in the rock and put her name on it, so it would be here forever. And that's what you're looking at right there. It's a pretty cool bench too, because as you can sit in it and check out the view, because the view's pretty spectacular, even with overcast clouds.
And it was thought that the bench fell over the side, down there.
And as soon as we came off the ledges, we walked right into winter.
I'm gonna build a snowman.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna build a snowman with that snow. Alright, so we've come to the junction with the Pine Mountain Trail. And as we pan over to the left, there it is, number 91 on the fire tower list for us. This fire tower was first built in 1910. It was replaced in 1916. And then in 1939, it was rebuilt once again. Lasted for 36 years. This tower has some history to it. Back in 1965, fugitives from justice stole some radio equipment and they hid up in the tower. They were later apprehended by the FBI. Yes, even the FBI's been up to this tower. But on June 30th, 1975, at exactly 4:05, they detonated it to knock it down. The story is told that as soon as it was detonated, the fire tower rose up into the air and then came right back down onto its base.
One strong tower.
Yes, it was. And in Cheryl's usual form, summit pose. All right. Our sign here says Angel View. Well, once we cleared all the snow off of it. And it heads up this way. Let's go check out the Angel View. And Angel View. It's panning along. Oh, blue sky. I haven't seen that in a few weeks. Going along into the little notch there. And back around to the trees. This video is brought to you today by We Are Mud Fun. Hey! Let's go take a look at Gorham. Assuming that is Gorham down there. Little town of Gorham. Now we're moving on to Chapel View. And Chapel View is right there. So I can't zoom in on the cross. There it is. That's where we're headed next. Come back out, give you another look at the area. So there's a shelter out here. Cheryl's tidying up. And if you look underneath, United States Postal Service. I happen to know for a fact that shouldn't be up here. Somebody can be fined for having that. There you go, ice plant. Grows right out of the ground. Always amazes us when we see that. Now we've come to Sign Central. This is a Pine Mountain Loop trail going back down to Pinkham Road, going up that way. And as I pan around, coming back, this way goes down to the Horton Center. We'll go down there after we head on the Pine Mountain Trail. So we want to try to get out to Chapel Rock, which will lead out this way. And you almost need a map with all these trail signs. At the top sign says Pine Mountain Trail, goes off to the right. This says Pinkham Ledge Trail to Pine Mountain, which would also go that way. There are bog bridges all the way out here. Cheryl found herself a little cave. Need a headlamp?
Yep.
And she disappeared. Does it come out the other side? It's kind of an amazing rock structure though, look at this. Uh-oh, I just heard a wow from inside. Alright, let me take you in. Alright, going in. Oh! No, that doesn't go anywhere. No, this way. Yeah. I have a pack on, you don't. GPS is stuck. This is a tight squeeze.
Lemon squeeze.
Yeah, lemon squeeze of Chapel Rock. Holy moly. Alright.
Now that you're through, this is what we're seeing.
Playing in the rocks. So I left the pack out.
Cool.
This is why we buy accidental insurance on our camcorders. So we'll be following these bog bridges. As you can see, no one has been out here since the snowfall. So the bog bridges brought us to a bridge, or landing, which leads to stairs, which goes up. And I'm willing to put money on it that it goes up to Chapel Rock. Welcome to Chapel Rock. As you can see by the cross there. There's a cairn up here. What does that say anyway?
Every time I'm in the woods, I feel like I'm in church.
No. Panning up. Top of Cheryl's head. Okay, there's another small cross with a cairn. Alright, so we're now standing on the top of Chapel Rock, also known as Pulpit Rock. And you can see, by the views we're getting, it's not a bad day after all.
A little chilly.
And as we pan in to Pine Mountain directly across, you might be able to see where we stood to get the view of Chapel Rock. There it is. I think that's the one. There's also one a little further up. That could have been the Gorham view too, though. But yeah. Continuing to pan. Panning.
Down there is Horton Center.
And a TV tower, but it looks more like a cell tower.
Yeah.
Maybe it's both. So back down to the bog bridges that we took to get in here. Instead of going that way, we're going to go straight across, right into Horton Center. Now, in 1942, the Pine Mountain Association was established, and in 1944, they purchased 95.5 acres on the top of Pine Mountain for $1. They got it from Libby & Sons Lumber Company, and it was to be used for religious retreats and camps. The stipulation was that it had to be used for religious purposes, or the land would be reverted back to Libby & Sons Company. It was later named the Douglas Horton Center in honor of the man who had the vision to begin with. There's just some of the buildings here in the Horton Center. We're not going to go check them all out. We're just glad that they let us walk through here for hiking purposes. So Cheryl's standing over by a ute. We first heard of these when our friends Darcy and Jeremy rented one. Serious bell. Sure, that gets people's attention when they use it, if they still do. I mean, the rope is still there. Alright, so we're back down to the trailhead where we started. We want to thank the Horton Center for allowing hikers. We really appreciate that. Number 91. Fire tower remains we did find in the bag. So as far as we're concerned, there's one left. So till our next adventure, which is number 92, and it's this way. The end.